Good day, I am Xiangyip with matching number 287172 and my partner Ismahani with matching number 287990 has chosen topic 3, which is consumer market and buyer behavior. 3 things that I learned from this topic. The first one is difference between consumer and customer. Firstly, I already thought that customer and consumer is the same thing, but now I realize that I'm wrong. A consumer is a person who consume and use for the product, while customer is the person who buy for the product. For consumer, a monetary transaction is optional, while for customer, a monetary transaction is a must to buy a product. The second one is decision process. The consumer decision process represent the process a consumer need to go through before, during, and after they making purchase. They have 5 steps in this decision process. The first one is need recognition. The second one is information search. The third one is alternative evaluation. The fourth one is purchase and consumption, and the last one is post-purchase. The third thing that I learned is difference between functional needs and physiological needs. The functional needs is a basic human needs, while the physiological needs is essential to mental health or not biological necessity. A functional needs example may be Ali ran out of salt when he cooking, so he go and buy a new one. So this salt is his functional use, while for physiological needs is people has a lot of shoe, but she still buy a new one just because the shoe is pretty. So this is the example for difference between functional needs and physiological needs.
First thing that I have learned from this topic by understanding the different type of risk. There are 5 types of risk in consumer behavior, which is performance risk. It involves a perceived danger inherent in a poor performing product or service. Second, financial risk. The financial risk is the consumer think they might be wasting money on product or service. Third, physical risk. The physical risk is simple the concern that a product will be dangerous and might potentially harm or injure the consumer or someone else. For example, parents might not buy a certain toy because of the fear that children are not mature enough to play with the toy safely. Other than that is social risk. These types of risks present to a consumer's social status. If a person is a height of a wealthy social class, they want to buy a product that their friends will also buy. And the last one, psychological risk. The psychological risk factor is defined on whether product or service consistent with the prospect set of self. Second thing that I have learned is the possible outcome of post-purchase behavior. It will fall into a following category, which is positive and negative behavior. The post-purchase journey can be analyzed to that, but it will come down with creating a positive customer experience. Essentially, that means 2 things. First, suggest an incentive action you want. For example, repeat purchase, writing review, and social engagement. Second, predict a problem customers may face. Examples, product return, product questions, and shipping concern. Next, I have learned to understanding types of buying decision, which can be categorized, which is extended decision making, limited problem solving, habitual buying behavior, and impulse buying. A consumer behavior decision depends on the types of product that they need to buy. For example, the behavior of consumer while buying a coffee is a lot different while buying a car. It shows that a purchase are more difficult and expensive, require gathering, contemplations, and a larger number of participants.
I have 2 questions in this topic. The first one is, did COVID-19 pandemic affect customer buying behavior and how does it affect? And my second question is, which step is the most important step in customer buying decision and why does this step is the most important step?
I have 2 questions in this topic that I don't understand. Question number 1 is, what can a marketer do to influence a situation in which a consumer is ready to buy but has not yet done? My second question is, how to figure out the way a business have changed what it have to offer just because the consumer tastes have changed.
One thing that I learned from my partner Ismahani reflection is, I learn and more understand the outcome of post-purchase behavior. After a customer making a purchase, there are things that we want them to do and things we don't want them to do. So positive post-purchase behavior is repeat purchase, give positive review, and also customer evangelist. Negative post-purchase behavior is product refund, give negative review, and also one-off purchase.
One thing that I learned from reflections of my partner Wong Xin Ying is customer basically refer to the person who buy the product or service for a shop or business, while consumer is the person who use the product or service. The customer and consumer become the same person in case where someone purchases a good and service for a personal use.